Hey, Video Land, Bobtendo coming at you here with a review on Boom Studios' new Tarzan on the Planet of the Apes, #1, that just recently came out. I'm gonna go through the story here and kind of tell you what happens throughout it. So, spoilers. I'm not gonna leave anything out. So let's just jump right into it. The story was written by Tim Seeley and David Walker, and the art is done by Fernando Dagnino. I hope I said that right. And the awesome looking cover was done by Duncan Fagredo. So I'm hoping I'm getting these names right. And sorry, I'm just looking down at notes here that I jotted down as I was reading the issue. And so, right off the bat, the story starts off in now time, North America, 2016, with, I assume it's going to be General Ursus. They don't say him by name yet. It's just General. And so him and his other guerrilla company are hunting humans for stealing crops. And Tarzan just swings into action and starts fighting. But that's all we get of 2016 right there. Because as soon as that happens, we immediately jump to Equatorial West Africa, 1901. And so we see a younger Tarzan and Milo, which is actually the son of Zira and Cornelius. So those two are playing around through the trees, having themselves a little game, and all of a sudden, dinosaurs, or actually more specific, Triceratops, start charging through the jungle, and they almost get crushed in the process. But then this time portal sphere opens up in the air, and the dinosaurs just charge through it and disappear. So then Tarzan and Milo go back to their tribe, which is called the Mangini, or Mangani. I'm not really sure how that's supposed to be, which is led by Zira and Cornelius. They are teaching the tribe. And it also shows that there was another gorilla there named Kerchak, who does not seem to like Tarzan. I was kind of expecting something like that to happen. Of course, an ape's not going to like a human living amongst them. And they tell the story of seeing the dinosaurs, and of course, Kerchak doesn't believe them. But they go off and they tell the story to Zira and Cornelius, who does believe them, because when Tarzan brings up the light in the sky that opens up, that makes Zira go back into a flashback, and pretty much it kind of it's goes off as a what if storyline, branching off from the ending of Beneath the Planet of the Apes, when Zira and Cornelius and Dr. Milo end up taking the ship and leaving the planet before it explodes. Instead of the events of Escape from the Planet of the Apes happening, it is just explained as they went back in time even further to, geez, I think she said almost 2,000 years or something like that. And they traveled back to 1901 instead. And they find Tarzan on a shipwreck, and so they end up adopting him as their son. So Milo and Tarzan are, brought up together as brothers. So, that's cool. I definitely don't mind that. It's an interesting way of putting it all together, because I was interested on how they were actually going to do this. And so after that, Kerchak gathers up a bunch of other gorillas and decides to go off and look for the area that Milo and Tarzan were talking about. And there's these other group of hunters walking around looking for slaves. And they're also just hunting as well. One of them is actually a relative of Tarzan, explaining that Tarzan's mom and dad was his uncle and aunt, and he wants to take over Greystoke, which, if you don't know what that is Tarzan's family's, their home, their manor. And they don't say what his first name is yet. They just call him Sir Clayton at the moment. So that's all I know about him. And of course they come across Kerchak, and their gang and start shooting them down. And this is all the while Tarzan and Milo and Cornelius go off into another section looking for the time portal there, and they end up finding a scale from one of the Triceratops. And then they hear the commotion going on with the hunters because one of the gorillas gets trapped in a net, and also one of them gets his leg pretty much blown off and brutally murdered, which kind of sucks. So obviously that pisses off Tarzan, which makes him swing into action. And then so Tarzan, Milo, Cornelius start attacking all the hunters there. And unfortunately, they don't defeat them all. They get a few good hits in, but then Tarzan gets knocked out with someone taking his rifle and, hitting him in the back of the head with it, down for the count. And unfortunately, Cornelius ends up getting shot, and I assume for at the moment he's dead. So I don't know yet. But then right from that point, it jumps all the way right back to 2016 again. And for just one page of panel, it goes back to Tarzan fighting General Ursus and his guerrillas, and he kind of gets captured, and the last page is just this nice drawing of General Ursus just standing there saying, so a human that can speak. So I guess they're still keeping the whole thing of how humans don't speak on the Planet of the Apes world, but they're kind of surprised that Tarzan does, and so they say something about bringing him back to where they live and bringing him to Zira and Dr. Zaius. So it's nice that all these names keep getting brought out. Like I said, they didn't say General Ursus straight out. I'm just assuming that's who it is. But yeah, that's pretty much a quick lowdown of how issue number 1 goes. Setting up that Cornelius and Zira go back in time to 1901. They adopt Tarzan, and now these hunters have shown up. And yeah, I'm not really sure how it's going to go yet, because this is only issue number 1. So I'm trying to figure out how everything jumps from 1901 all the way to 2016. So I'm going to assume that another time portal is going to open up, and Tarzan's going to go through it, and he's going to end up on the actual Planet of the Apes where they have taken over, and the humans no longer speak. So it's very interesting. I'm actually happy with how this is going so far. I am very surprised that this crossover has not happened yet. I mean, geez, Tarzan has already crossed over with the Predator already, a long time ago. And yet they're only now just doing Planet of the Apes? I don't know, maybe it could be a rights thing. And now that Boom Studios has been dealing with Planet of the Apes for quite a while now. So it's pretty nice. I definitely recommend checking it out if you are a Tarzan or a Planet of the Apes fan. The art, I dig it. It's pretty good. So it works for me. I'm a big Planet of the Apes fan. I also like Tarzan. I don't know as much about the Tarzan history as I do for Planet of the Apes. But whatever. It's a crossover that I'm digging so far, and I am looking forward to issue number 2, which I believe, I think at the end of the issue said it comes out next month on the 26th. So October 26th. I may do a review on issue number 2. So we'll see how that goes. So anyway, thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time. Same Bob time, same Bob channel.